What's up, Builders Club TV Nation? You got Dewan Jones here, your professional stay-at-home dad, and I'm excited once again to have the legend on the show with us tonight. Tracey Walker is back with us, family, for part 2. Remember, we talked to her a little bit about her real estate venture and her past in real estate, her success in real estate, and we want to talk to her again because now this is part 2 where we left off talking about her discovery of the network marketing industry and the success that she's been able to have in that arena. So we definitely are excited about having Tracey Walker back on the show. Family entrepreneur, internet marketer, professional speaker, as well as an author. She's doing a lot of amazing things, but more importantly, she's helping a lot of people in the process. Let me get myself on camera really quickly so I can say what's up to the family. Thanks again, everyone, for sharing the platform, getting the word out there that the Builders Club TV Nation is finally here. And as always, we're dedicated to bringing you the best to ever do it in the work from home industry. Let me get our good friend Tracey Walker on the camera with us. Tracey, can you hear me okay? Awesome. Let me get you on camera so the family can say what's up, what's going on.
Hey guys.
Awesome, man. We're excited and fired up to have you back on the show, man. We were so engaged with your story. It was like I said, watching them or listening to a movie. All we needed was some popcorn. I didn't come prepared this time. I should have made some popcorn because I know it's going to be exciting once again. So how are things been going on for you in your world?
Oh man, things are doing amazing. I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. I mean, abundance is just surrounding me, my vision, my family, the movement. So we're good.
Awesome. Yeah, we've been paying attention on social media. We can definitely see things are definitely working in your favor, and it's always exciting to watch greatness unfold for you. But we're excited to jump back into the story where we left off. We were talking about previously your success in the real estate industry, but then also the collapse in the fall, right? Everything that happened and how you pushed through that, and the story was so epic. And where you left off was, you're talking about right at the point where you're getting ready to go into the network marketing industry. Tell us about that.
Sure. Well, this brings us to about the early part of 2017. I'm sorry, the early part of 2007. I'm skipping ahead 10 years. The early part of 2007. And the whole thing was I needed to find a way to create some residual income in between these deals, right? And so I was introduced by a good friend of mine to network marketing. His father, he was a good friend of mine, but his father was a multi-millionaire with us at home in Chicago. He owned, he's a restaurateur, owned several restaurants. If I would have said the name, everybody in Chicago would know who I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
But his son and I went to college together. We were really good friends. And so that we were back at home, he was doing some things with mortgages. And he was experiencing some of the pushback that we were experiencing on the loss mitigation side of things. And so he shared with me what his dad was doing and let's take a look at it. We could supplement the income. I went out to his dad's house, had a beautiful house out there, and it was like Tinley Park. And saw the presentation of a travel company at that time. And I literally was like, oh my goodness, look, all this work I do, all this work I do in real estate, all I have to do essentially is understand what I'm marketing, believe in what I'm marketing, that it can help people, that it's valuable, and do this presentation essentially over and over and over again in front of audiences of people, small groups, large groups, conference calls, whatever. Oh heck, and I can make this type of money. I mean, the ladies that were in the front of the room at that time, were making 60, 70 grand a month. And I'm like, doing this?
You're like, wow, what am I doing?
I'm dealing with trying to make that money. So I was like, let me make a shift and let me see if I can work smarter than so hard, So
let me ask you this.
I jumped in.
Let me ask you this before you continue. When they brought to your attention this opportunity or the possibility of this opportunity, what was your mindset though? Because before this, you had never been introduced to anything like it, right?
Well, when I was in college, I had seen people doing prepaid legal, whatever.
Okay.
But I was never really, engaged in any of it. I didn't feel any type of way about it. For me, I have a business mindset, so it wasn't like, oh my God, it's network marketing. It's evil or I didn't think any of that. What I thought was this: literally what I thought was this. What I am doing right now to create $90,000 and $100,000 a month is taking me down, right? Energy, you know, the people, the industry, the challenges, the legal aspects of things, like it was taking me down.
Right,
okay?
right.
Houses already in pre-foreclosure, cars already in repossession. Like I'm not getting a job. Like, let's get this clear.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. I don't do that anymore, right? This was 2007. I had been free since 2002 at that point. So we're talking about 5 years I had been free. I'm like, I'm not going back. There's no option. So for me, it was a business that I could do that was legal, moral, and ethical, where I could still use my gift of speaking and all that, but I don't have the hassles of all that stuff. I have a turnkey business. I don't have to worry about website. I don't have to worry about legal. I don't have to worry about product and service. I don't have to worry about compliance. I don't have to worry about employees and payroll. I don't have to worry. That's what I'm thinking.
Love at first sight.
Man, so if I can make 60, 70, 80 grand a month doing this without all of that headache and all of that overhead, that's a simple business decision to be like, it's no emotion about it. It's this is what we need to do.
Right,
you know?
right. So you had you had no one in your ear at the time telling you, well, you know, such and such tried that before. Oh, I heard about things like that. No one was in your ear.
Not really. I mean, if I really go back, there may have been a couple of people that came through, but you got to remember, at this point in time, people were looking at me as a successful person already, right? Okay. So it wasn't, even if they felt that, they knew they couldn't tell, they weren't going to tell me that, and I was going to just bow down. That's not who I am. So even if they felt it, or even if they said it, it was, once I make my mind up, that's it, you know? And I decided this is what I was doing. My ex-husband, who was my husband at the time, you know, he was with it, so it didn't really matter, right? He didn't really fully do it because he was still rocking with the real estate, because that he had grown a love and affinity for that. But he still supported me, and if I had things I needed to do, I still did them. You know, if I needed to do at our house, I still did them. And that was that. So
you saw all the success in front of the room. The presentation obviously was amazing. It inspired you. You got started, obviously. And what was that like, getting started?
Well, getting started was fine. I mean, so I must have signed up like on a Thursday, and by Tuesday, my mentor at that time had me in front of the room. So you see, this is why I look at people sometimes today, and I'm like, you guys drag around so hard with trying to be successful, right? Like, you start the business, but then you got to study everything, and you got to have all the results first. And you got to experience like if you're doing a health business, you got to experience all of the health benefits first. I'm not saying don't experience something. What I'm saying is, you don't have to be the walking, talking ambassador billboard for the thing before you can identify whether or not you believe this has value and impact for you and somebody else potentially. So within 3 or 4 days, I was in front of the room. I didn't know the presentation fully, you know, I wasn't comfortable, so to speak, with it, but the gist of it was what the gist of it was, and I could follow the slides. You know what I'm saying? I can look at some slides, and I can let me just put my own spin on it. I might not know all the exact facts, or I might skip a bullet point or two, or miss a joke or something I heard somebody else say. You know, so I kind of get in the mode of doing it. But I mean, I just jumped right out there. Next thing I knew, every single Tuesday and Thursday, I was doing presentations at our team event. And so I was thrust into it. And that's the way it was. I don't know how to drag around.
Let me ask you, because in front of the room, it's no joke. Where does that courage come from? That you just, hey, I'm getting in front of the room off the jump. Hey, I'm going head first. Where does that courage come from?
That had to be built into me. That had to be woven into me probably at home growing up. I can't pinpoint a particular time. I just know my mom was always like, you can do anything you want to do. Like, I just remember she used to have this thing on our refrigerator with a frog and was it a frog and a duck, I think? And I think it's the frog was grabbing the duck's neck, right? And the duck was grabbing the frog's throat. or something, right? and so they had a hold on each other.
Yeah.
And the tagline was "Don't ever give up."
Wow.
Right. So that was on my refrigerator growing up as a kid. Like,
yeah.
so that's what I
that's
remember. That's what I see. Yeah. So as I started matriculating through elementary, high school, college, you know, remember I went to school for business. So having a business degree and having an MBA, presenting and having case studies and doing group projects, and that was part of what I had to do in business school, right? Then coming out, having my internships and working in corporate America before I got my official job, same thing, right? I was in marketing, so I'm presenting ideas on a regular basis. I'm talking about, you know, market research or, you know, branding. I'm talking about these things to a room of people, you know, a decision-making group of people. So to get to this, now in real estate, I'm sitting down talking to individual homeowners who own a $1.52 million house, and I'm sitting in their living room one-on-one talking to them about how our company can assist them alleviate this stress of this home being in foreclosure, right? So if I can talk to somebody about their $2 million house that they're losing, right, and get them to buy into our products, our services, our benefits, our help, come on, to me, coming from where I'm coming from, right? I can't say it's like that with everybody, but for me, coming from all of that, that's what I'm saying. To stand in front of a room of people who voluntarily came in there and sat down, and I can talk about some travel from a slide. Oh my God.
We're
finna kill this. This was my mind. I'm finna kill this.
So did you kill it at the beginning? Was it did success come easy, or like I always say, was there some dark times?
No, well, that was okay. So that first year, our team grew really fast, and I did good in that company, right? I made some leadership levels and things like that. So I did good in that company. But after a year, let me tell you what I started to realize. I started to realize that in the network marketing, you know, you got to go to these events, you got to present at people's houses or this hotel, whatever. And I'm back in Chicago. Okay, in the winter time in Chicago, it's 30 below zero outside with the wind chill, and I gotta have on boots and a snowsuit and a hat and earmuffs and a scully and all of this stuff just to drive across town. I gotta take an hour. I gotta take 30 minutes to warm my car up. I gotta drive across town at 1 mile an hour because it's icy or snowy or whatever. Then I get there and it's 2 people in the room.
Oh man.
Okay. Like, I gotta take off my boots, drip dry, put on some heels, look at these snacks, and try to figure out why we only got 2 people in the room. Right? It took me 2 hours leeway to even get here. It's gonna take me an hour and 45 minutes of this presentation. Then I gotta sit here 30 minutes and talk to a few people and try to close them out. Then I gotta drive myself back home. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a part-time job. Time-wise. And I was getting tired of the ripping and the running and the nature of the business at that level of the hand-to-hand combat. I was tired of that. My thing was I got to figure out a different way to do it. But I liked what I was doing. I just didn't like how I was doing it.
Do you think
that's what they teach you to do. So that's how we did it, you know?
Do you think that's the case for a lot of people? Like in today's era, they love the concept of what they're doing. They don't necessarily love the method.
Yeah, I mean, you talking about in terms of business or
just
like
in
their job?
Just in the industry, you know, working from home, period.
Oh, you know what? I think people love the idea, right? Because if they don't have another way, like if I only presented to you one way to do something, and you thought it was a great idea, but then you went out there and you tried to do it, or I tried to do it the one way that you showed me how to do it, and I wasn't really getting any traction. I am in love with the idea of what could happen, but I really don't see how I'm gonna get there.
Okay, right.
You know, so I'm still in it. I'm still doing my little auto ship. You know, everybody has those people in their organization. They still doing their auto ship, but they still paying. They still whatever. They trying to hold on. You know, they trying to get the hang of it. But now they're defeating being nervous talking in front of the people. Now they're defeating. I don't know what to say. I don't have any results. I don't know anybody, right? I don't have any success. They're fighting all of these different battles on top of the method in which I would have been teaching them isn't ideal for them. It's ideal for me because maybe I have a little tougher skin, but it ain't ideal for them, you know? So now you got a whole team of people that's paying, that's believing, or that wants to believe, but the path that I'm giving them potentially, a path that they might be receiving from their upline, ultimately isn't really breeding enough duplication. You got a couple superstars, you know what I'm saying? Like, this industry, you get you a few superstars, you got it made, you know? But it takes time to be able to recruit those superstars sometimes. And if you're a person that's just starting out, if the road that you're given is like the longest, hardest road, they might not make it to sustain long enough to find the couple superstars. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's powerful. Good stuff. Let's get back to the story because it's getting interesting. So you've gotten started, first opportunity, you had success, you were able to, you know, reach some leadership levels. Did you stay there for a while, or did you, like you said, you were getting tired of the method in which you were building? What did you decide to do at that point?
Well, okay, so now it's 2008, and I was like, there's got to be a way. Like, in my mind, I'm driving around, going to these different meetings, I'm saying the same thing. So if I'm saying the same thing, to me, it made more sense to record myself, say it the one time, and then find a way to give this video to these people where it's saying it as many times as they want, but I don't have to physically be there. That's what I was thinking. How can I record myself and leverage it? So
automation.
So this was like 2008. Now I'm on the internet trying to figure out, how can I do that? That's all I wanted to do. How can I leverage myself better? It's really the goal. And that's when I was introduced to like internet marketing. I had no idea about internet marketing. I went on there to see how can I record a YouTube video and take a video, put it on a DVD or something, you know, and give it to people, because that's like the tools, right? You got to pass out the tools.
Right.
So I'm thinking of a DVD or whatever. And I get into this world of internet marketing, and then I start going down the rabbit hole of that.
Oh, man.
And then my mind just shifted altogether, which was, I don't want to do these meetings at all.
Oh, man.
Let me figure out, I can get people on a presentation on Skype or on something, you know, like whatever the platforms were back then. I can't really fully remember. I was GoToWebinar back then, I remember, but I can get them on something and I don't have to leave my house. Now, that's what I'm trying to do. And so even if I can't do a video, even if I have to say it over and over again, I don't mind saying it every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock with a 15-minute prep time to walk into the office, to turn on the computer, versus a 2-hour prep time with clothes and shoes and driving and traffic and this and that. Like, okay.
So you literally wanted a home business.
I wanted to be at home. Like, I didn't want to do that.
Right.
I did not want, I hate when we call it, because it is home-based business, but when you really look at it, the majority of the people that are leaders in our industry, not at home.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good point. Home.
And I never wanted that life. And maybe that's why I've, you know, here and there, I've had tugs of war, you know, internally and even with other leaders and things like this, because I don't want, to me, it's like a title. Like, you at your job, you are a vice president, and it makes you feel good that you're a vice president, but ultimately you're stressed about being a vice president. You don't have the lifestyle that you really want as a vice president. It's just, when you go places, oh, I'm vice president of this, it makes you feel good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. For me, I don't want to be feeling good about a home-based business, and I ain't never at home with my family. To me, that's an oxymoron. And it tears me. Like, it's difficult for me to do that. And whenever I get to a certain level of success, it almost seems like, I don't want to say self-sabotage, but it almost seems like my mind reverts back and said, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it that way. Right. I can't do it that way, you know? So, yeah, so I was more into, how can I automate? How can I leverage? How can I get more people on? How can I get people on that's not even in Chicago, right? Like, why am I only limited to the people in Chicago? If I know some people that's on the internet that's in a different city or state, heck, I'd like to invite them too, you know? And that's kind of where I started going. So 2008 was really my dive into internet network marketing, so to speak, and learning some of the skills and learning about headlines and learning how to generate leads online. Because prior to that, like I knew how to generate leads in our real estate business by doing direct mail mailings, like I was saying before. So how could I do this in network marketing, right? It's too expensive in network marketing because generally you don't make enough money in your fast start to be able to validate the heavy expense of 10,000 postcards going out. You know what I'm saying? Up front. Right. Whereas in my real estate, I could pay $2,000-$3,000 for postcards to go out because I close a deal, I make $90,000. But with network marketing, I can't pay $2,000-$3,000 for postcards to go out and then get a couple of sales and your fast start is $50.
Yeah.
Like that's not good business. So I'm like, okay, I got to figure out how I can generate leads. I'm not getting ready to be walking around Walmart. I'm not getting ready to be doing some of that stuff. I will talk to my friends and family, the ones that I believe have a business mindset. So I'm not against friends and family. For me, it's like, if you know that your friends and family can receive business information, then share it with them. I'm not saying don't, but if your friends and family don't give a hoot about business, they don't want to invest, they just want to work a job, they scared of a business, all of that, if that's the case, then why would you say anything to them about it?
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I wasn't really with that. And so I was like, the only way I feel like I can do this is I got to be able to generate leads online. So I started learning how to generate leads online, right? And so I got to a point where I was generating probably about, 10, 20 leads a day just through my blog at that time, right? Through my blog. I had a network marketing blog. And I would get these leads. I get them on the phone and I can enroll them in my company. It's like, okay, this is much better. Now I'm at home.
Right.
I'm on the phone.
Right.
I can do an online something with somebody. I'm not out at Walmart or at the church in the parking lot putting postcards and flyers on people's cars. I'm not harassing people. Oh, you look sharp. You look like you keep your business. I'm just like, that wasn't my deal.
Guerrilla marketing.
Not somebody else. That wasn't me. So
street team. You didn't want to be your own street team.
No, I can't be my own street. Like, come on, y'all doing too much. You want me to go out there? You want me to walk out there? You want me to market? You want me to then procure the person? Then you want me to invite the person? Then you want me to present to the person? Then I gotta close the person. Then I gotta onboard the person. Then I gotta create a system to teach the person how to do all that I just did with them. Like, come on, what business where you doing all of that? Like a real business. Yeah. Are those things being done? Yes, but not all by the same person, right? They're just not. I mean, do I think Best Buy or whoever else does that? Yeah, I think they do that. I think they have people that there's a marketing department, right? There's an advertising department. There's a sales department, I'm sure. There's a merchandise. Like, there's departments of people that make this system work. You doing this yourself, it's gonna take you a long time to foot it, guerrilla market your way to doing it. And I'm not knocking that because sometimes that's what you have to do. But I'm saying for me, my brain was twirling and saying, how can I do it different? It was just a curiosity. Is there a different way, right?
And let me just ask you this. Let me ask you this because, okay, so you tapped into the online marketing side of the game, right? Okay, so was it like daunting? Like, was it like information overload once you figured out, oh, okay, this is something different, seems more appealing, something like the lane I want to drive in? Was it intimidating at first? Because a lot of people, they're researching how to build a business online, but a lot of them are in the information overload phase. It's like an ocean of information, and they don't know where to begin. Did you experience that at first?
You know what? Let me try to put it like this. Physics. An object in motion tends to stay in motion, right? Unless it meets something of equal and opposite resistance, right? I'm already in motion. I'm already building a business, right? Yeah. So my mind is already filtering. Like, I know what I'm looking for, right? So I'm filtering. Is it information? Yes. But I'm filtering like, I don't want that. I'm looking for this. Okay, yes, this is what I need. This is what I think I need. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that, right? Then once I get that, okay, what's the next step? Now I need that, right? It's like that. I'm in motion. Yeah. I think that overload thing comes into play, or the feeling of overwhelm is when you're not in motion. You're not in motion. You sitting there still, just still. And now it's like a fire hose coming at you. right? So now you don't know whether you need something or not. You don't know whether something is a greater importance or not. You don't know whether it's a priority. You don't know whether you need it now or later. You don't know if you don't need it at all. So you're trying to learn it all. And then school teaches you to learn everything before you do anything. So that's what you're trying to do. You're going to sit there for a whole semester, read the books for 4 months before you even think about taking a step.
Wow.
Right? That's why I personally think people feel that is because they're not in motion. I'm not doing things the way that I'm doing things the opposite way. I'm doing ready, fire, then aim. Most people are doing ready, aim, right? And I've already fired 5 times. So I already know I'm just adjusting now. I'm just adjusting.
Yeah.
So overwhelm to me comes from sitting still, trying to receive a bunch of information versus already being in action. And even though that same information is coming at you, because you're in motion, you're keeping the momentum going, and you're grabbing, you're trying. It don't work, toss it. This does work, pack it up, let's go. You know, it's more of a journey than a sit down, let me read about a journey, you know?
Yeah, right.
If that makes sense.
That made a lot of sense. I hope you guys, Builders Club TV Nation family, I hope you're taking copious notes, because that is some powerful information. So tell us, how did your life change once you started to receive the breakthrough? When that started to happen, the success started to come, how did your life change, and what was that emotion like?
Okay. So now in 2008, probably about 2 or 3 months in, I go to my upline. I'm like, look, I think I got a way for us to really make some money, speed things up if we try to get online. And they didn't want to hear that. They were like, we're going to stick with this. We don't even know what you're talking about. We're not going to learn nothing new. And of course, you making 60, 70 grand a month. You like, girl, bye, right? Like, So they weren't listening. So I said, okay, so I officially resigned from that company, right? I put in my letter, I officially resigned and said, I'm going to do it my way, right? I'm not trying to stop y'all from doing what y'all doing, but I feel like I got to go a different direction. So one of the guys that I had found on the internet that I started learning how to generate leads from, his name was Dagan Smith. I joined his company that he was in because it was more of an online-based network marketing company, right? So I joined him. He was already making millions of dollars doing this, generating leads and sales and stuff like. He was like #1 person in the company and this and that. So I joined him and I began to study his programs and his information. And I started getting success so much that I reached out to him. Like he didn't know me, right? I just joined his stuff. And I realized, wow, people that don't know you will actually join your business because I just did it. You know what I'm saying? So how can I get people to do what I just did? You know? And so I said, let me just keep buying more stuff from him and trying to receive this information and apply. And finally, you know, I guess like a certain rank in that company, I reached out to him and they didn't know who I was. Never, like it wasn't no, you know, calling me, hey, welcome to the team, all that babysitting stuff that people really expect. This is my second mentor, right? The first one was like, you're presenting 5 days later. Yeah. Okay, fine. The second one never called me a day in my life.
Wow.
Okay. And I reached out to him and said, hey, listen, I've been getting the results with what your training program is. And he said, listen, I'd love to have you on my, I'd like to interview you and put you on my blog and send it out to my list. Now that's almost like, that's somebody, that's like you, I don't know, I'll try to explain it like in today's terms, but that's like you wanting to be,
that's the equivalent of like a musician getting a record deal.
Yeah, or at least, or if you want to do real estate now, and you're watching, you know, Grant Cardone, you watching Uncle G, and Uncle G saying, why don't you come on my show? I'll interview you. Right? Okay, so now all the exposure that you get as a result of the association with that person is a platform. So that's what ended up happening to me. I did the interview with him. It was all audio back then. Like we weren't doing video things like that, right? It was like 2008, in 2008, 2009, beginning 2009. So I did the interview and he sent it out, just the audio, and people started reaching out to me. This is all on YouTube. People were reaching out to me like on MySpace back then, all this stuff. And I started getting this, or taking on this authority type of expert type of field. right? To what was going on, because I was taking what he was teaching and I was just getting results. And people were like, well, how you doing it? How you doing it? I'm like, I'm just doing what he's saying do. And I started realizing that people will just keep asking you, how are you doing something? Because they think what you're doing is different than what the man is telling you to do, which is not. It's you just keep running a circle. So anyway, that catapulted me a little bit there, where I started having more recognition in the marketplace, right? I started to start having a brand, so to speak. You know, Tracey Walker became a name. It was a growing name at that time. I started interacting with people like Jonathan Budd, who was 21, 22 back then, just starting out, right? He created a MySpace course and made like a lot of money on MySpace course. So I was friends with Jay Budd back then, when he was like living in his mom's house in Connecticut or wherever he was from, Massachusetts or something. I was friends with Dagan. I was friends with a lot of people that today are like the guru people, right? And we were all figuring this thing out. But I was learning from them, but overall, everybody was still figuring it out, you know?
Connect with people. Get around other people that's having success. Get around people that can show you what it be to make calls or how to speak the language of different, whatever field you're in. You can't allow fear to stop you from going after your goals and dreams, because again, you don't want that struggling. You don't want that suffering, because you're letting fear stop you.